love that lasts. And I'm a deep believer that to create external changes in our life, we need to look within and we need to work on our inner issues, our inner obstacles to love. That's why I'm not so keen on gathering lots of dating tips and applying everything to your dating and focusing only on the externals rather than addressing the real issue, which is your inner world and your beliefs, your fears, and everything which is affecting your energy. And I believe work with me changes your energy, so then you can show up differently in dating, you can show up more powerfully, you can sending the right message to the right man and eliminate the time wasters, the jerks, the commitment phobes, the players, the ones who are really not looking for a relationship. And today, hello Ken, how are you? And today I want to be talking about settling and compromising in love, because I can see this being such a big issue for so many women, even women who are like successful and confident in their professional life, and on the surface they appear like the women who feel worthy, who have strong boundaries, who know what they want and who they are, but then if it comes to love, they lose their power and they become almost like doormats, and they compromise so much just to be in a relationship, and they spend too many years with the wrong guys in the wrong relationships. And I would love to see that change in the world, because it's not serving you and it's not helping you find the love of your life if you compromise too much and if you settle for less than you deserve. So settling is essentially about accepting less than you want and less than you deserve, and not giving yourself permission to actually go for what you truly deserve in love. And it breaks my heart to see how many women do that, but I fully empathize and I understand, because I used to be that woman. If I look at any of my previous relationships, except the one I'm currently in, they were all huge compromises, with the man who couldn't give me what I wanted, without any future, with the men who were not even thinking about the future with me, with the men who didn't feel like committing and they were not interested in long-term relationship. They just wanted to have an ongoing arrangement which was suitable for them. But I'm not blaming men, I'm not blaming them, because everyone wants different things and we are entitled to have our preferences. I don't even blame myself, but I know it was down to my choices and my decisions. So it's nobody's fault. At the time, that was me, desperate, lonely, needy, and I really wanted to be in a relationship almost at all costs, even though they were not right, even though they were not perfect. There's such a thing like a perfect relationship. But they were even not making me happy, I kind of fell under the illusion that I needed them and they were kind of better than being single. And I stuck to them for too long, but I needed every single lesson in my romantic life to become who I am today and to be guided towards the work I needed to do to become a woman who was ready to attract the love of her life. And now I am happy to report that I'm in a relationship in which I don't really compromise my values, my dreams, myself. And as I mentioned yesterday, in every relationship you will have to make little compromises and adjustments, and there will be differences to work on. But otherwise, if not that, the relationships would be really boring and they wouldn't make us grow, right? So it's all okay. The problem starts when you lose yourself and when you do things against yourself and when you dishonor your values and yourself, and you convince yourself you want different things than you really want. So for example, you want kids, but you meet an amazing guy who doesn't, and in the process you kind of try to talk yourself out of the desire of having kids. That's wrong. Jam, hi. I believe human freedom and freedom in every sense. Yeah, to some extent. I believe a relationship requires giving up a little bit of our freedom. Or maybe not even. It's about adjusting, because I don't feel limited by my partner in any way. My situation is like I'm a mom of a 3-year-old and pregnant with another child, so I see that as limiting my freedom. But it's only temporary, and it was my choice, so I don't feel like I regret anything. And it came at the right time when I was mature, and it felt like the right thing to do. Earlier on in my life, I was not ready for kids, and this kind of commitment and sacrifice. So as much freedom as it can be given to us in a relationship, that's amazing, and definitely not giving up on the things which are really fundamental to us and really important to us. And I can see many women do that, sadly, because they want to keep the relationship going. And so maybe I should talk about why we settle and why we compromise, because there are a few reasons. The first one is many of women are afraid to be single, because there's a perception in our society that being single is not desirable. There's something wrong with you if you are single. If your relationship status is single, it means you haven't made it in life, or maybe you are too picky, maybe your expectations are too high, and all sorts of things, where that's not true, because relationship status can't define your worth as a person, can't define your value. It's just a perception which, I always advise my clients to raise above it, because whatever stories you have around your relationship status, they are not true. You are the same person whether you are married or you are single. Your value doesn't change at all. So single women are afraid to be single. That's why they often compromise and settle in love. Another thing is they don't believe they can find what they're looking for, because they don't feel worthy, or because they have some other issues going on internally. And I used to be that woman. I would rather stay in a relationship with the wrong guy than go and look for what I really wanted to have in my life, because I didn't feel good enough to find that kind of man. And then when I did my work, when I completely detached from all these BS stories and I relaxed around being single, I became happier as a single woman. All these unhelpful stories have disappeared from my life, or from my mind maybe. And hello Jane, how are you doing? Hello Mariola, how are you doing? And I became free of these stories, and I also created more space for the right love to come into my life. I believe a woman is God, she gives everything. Well, too much giving is also not good, so that's another issue, you have to have boundaries in the relationship. And so we settle and compromise because we are afraid of being single, we don't feel worthy, we don't believe we can find the right person, we don't feel good enough, and we choose to stick to whatever we currently have in our life. And how do we settle and how do we compromise? So for example, to give you a few examples from my life and from my clients' lives, you date men who are below your level because you don't believe you're worthy to find your amazing guy. And by dating men who are below your level, you already creating foundations for a relationship which is not going to fully fulfill you. So technically you are sabotaging your love life, right? Or we staying in relationships which are not making us happy, or are dysfunctional, or even abusive, because we are afraid to be single again. So we choose our current relationship, which is not 100% what we really want to manifest in love. And no wonder we are unhappy in those relationships if they are not the right relationships for us, and we are not with the right people. For example, another way of settling and compromising in love would be, you want a committed relationship, but then you meet a guy who is amazing in so many ways, and he impresses you in so many ways, and you might even fall in love with him, but he doesn't want what you want. So for example, you want a committed relationship, but he wants an open relationship, and he doesn't want to commit, and he's not thinking about the future with you, and he's not committing, and he's happy just to plod along and take things slowly, where you are looking for something completely different, leading to marriage, leading to family, leading to kids, and you are not on the same page with the guy, but you are sticking to him because he provides fun, and he might even love you, you know, whatever, you're getting something from it. And by sticking to that kind of relationship, you are preventing the true love from coming into your life, and you are preventing yourself from meeting the person who actually wants what you want. And so I'm sliding slightly here. So you are not doing yourself a favor by sticking to those men and those relationships. And in my opinion, it's a silly move, because you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, and you are depriving yourself from meeting the right person. Because it's very hard to meet the right person while you are already involved in something ongoing. Your energy goes into that relationship, your time goes into that relationship, your emotions are invested in the wrong guy. So your heart is not open for another person to come into your life. And how do we stop settling, and how do we stop compromising? I believe it starts from the inner work on self-love and self-worthiness, which I essentially do with my clients. And when you love yourself, you start to feel more worthy, you have stronger boundaries, you respect yourself and value yourself more, which means you're going to make more empowered romantic choices. You'll be less willing to get involved with the guys who can't give you what you want, and with the guys who don't want what you want. Plus, in all fairness, it's up to you who you date and who you allow into your life and who you invest your time and emotions with. So you need to become really strict, and you need to have very strong boundaries in place and make quick decisions when you notice that the guy is actually not able to give you what you want, and you are not on the same wavelength, and you don't want the same things. You owe it to yourself to end it, or at least confront him and tell him what you want, and be true and honest with him, so he knows what you really expect. And whether he can give you that or he can't can be determined during that conversation. But you are kind of opening the conversation and letting him know what you want. What about those relationships that from different ethnicity? Someone from Asia and someone from Australia. So what about this combination? It was happy life or not? I'll message you. Message me. I'm not an expert, even though, you know, my partner is English and I'm Polish, so we have cultural differences. I don't think they are major. I think you have more obstacles to overcome if you come from completely different cultures. In some ways it can be an enhancing experience, but in some others you might face some bigger obstacles to overcome, because religion comes into it, the political views, the cultural views. So, but I also believe, love is stronger than that, and if two people want to, you just make it work. So don't see it as an obstacle, but it's also a personal preference. So, for example, for many years I've dated a lot, and I've dated men from so many different cultures, but I could see with certain cultures I could see that I didn't have the ability to see the whole picture and to really understand them and their mentality, because I wasn't brought up in that culture. So at some point I made a decision for myself that it would be much easier to date people who come from the same background as me, who share similar values, and it has worked for me personally. But that was my personal decision made after so much dating I did. So to stop settling and stop compromising, it's really down to making the right decisions and right choices, and it is very much linked to how much you love, respect, value, and honor yourself. And I don't think you need, therapy or years of counseling or years of coaching to shift this kind of patterns. I did it on my own, and now I help my clients to do that. And this is the best thing you can do for yourself, because you have to stay determined. You have to have clear intentions, what you're looking for, to find it or to get it from the universe. And if you are you're looking for a committed relationship, but what you do is you keep bumping onto men who don't want committed relationships, and you keep changing your mind, and you keep compromising by entertaining them and getting into relationships with them, you're technically postponing your romantic happiness, you are sabotaging your love life, and you are depriving yourself of meeting the right person. If you are interested in working with me, and if you are this single woman who has noticed these patterns happening in your life, like settling, compromising, and getting involved with the wrong guys, and having average relationships where deep inside you still crave this amazing, lasting, loving relationship with the guy who completely gets you, who wants to commit, who wants to get married, who wants to have kids with you, please message me, PM me, because I've got a mastermind coming on the 21st of October. I'm only enrolling a few women, between 4 to 6 women. It's a high-end investment, so it's an investment for the ladies who are determined, who know now is the time to shift the patterns and do the inner work, so you show up differently and you start attracting different kind of guys, high quality guys. And you want to strengthen your boundaries, because you give in and you compromise too much, and because of that you can't find the right person and you're not attracting the right people. And we're starting on the 21st of October. I don't know if I've said it, but if I'm repeating myself, maybe that's important. And we'll be focusing on removing those unhealthy love patterns which sabotage your love life. We'll look into your past and your past mistakes so you don't repeat them in the future. Definitely we'll do work around self-love, because it's a game changer. Because when you love yourself, you show up differently, your energy changes, you feel more worthy of love, you have stronger boundaries, you stop looking for approval, which means you show up authentically in dating, and you create this authentic connection with your potential dates. And then you are stepping into your truth. And when you are in your truth, you can only then find true love. I will also help you to recognize your value and what kind of value you bring to the relationship, because when you see that, you can also relax about expecting certain things, because I believe being picky and being selective has served me very well in my love life, because when I became more selective and picky, I found the love of my life. And when I wasn't picky and selective, I was attracting all sorts of men. And so there's nothing wrong with being picky and selective. It's just you have to relax around it, and you have to believe in your expectations and what you are looking for, and you need to know your non-negotiables, and no compromising comes into place. Because I think love is one of these areas that you shouldn't compromise in, because we spend, and if you're looking for a long-term relationship, we spend many years with our partners, and you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who is not 100% satisfying you. And so I help you step up. I help you step up in love and create the next level of life. And as a result of the work with me during the mastermind, you will become more attractive from the inside out, because it's also not about the exterior, not about the makeup you wear, not about the dresses. I mean, they might help maybe, but they're not essential and they're not everything. You have to change your energy, and you have to feel awesome about yourself, because if you don't have that in place, you'll be attracting all sorts of guys who pick up on it, on your insecurities, on your feeling unworthy of love. And you have much stronger boundaries, so you become more assertive with men, you have a better judgment, and you will be making quicker decisions about whether the guys are good for you or not. You'll be wasting less time, you'll be eliminating the time wasters and the jerks and the commitment phobes and players, all sorts of men who are not serious about dating. And you will be attracting the high quality guys. And it's just a matter of time before you attract the right person into your life and create your amazing and awesome relationship. So please PM me for more info. I'll include the link to schedule a session with me if you want to chat with me about the mastermind and see whether that is a good fit for you, and help me see whether I can help you. And if you have any questions, please PM me or post them below. And that's it from me. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I hope you are having an amazing day. And enjoy the rest of your day, because it's absolutely beautiful. So we're going down to the beach with my boy when he wakes up. Keep well, everybody. Bye-bye.